First off, I'd like to thank you all for coming today. I'm Tobias Pittman,
I'm Brenton Bazemore.
and this is our Capstone project, MyCoursefolio. So, why did we create it? Well, it's simple. We wanted to make registration easier. And so, have you ever been in a situation where you're getting ready to register for a class and you notice that the seats are starting to fill up very quickly? Well, at this point, you're feeling a little bit nervous because you're not really sure if you're going to be able to register for that class or not. Well, with MyCoursefolio, we allow the users to easily view your courses and subscribe to that course to receive notifications about them. Now, I should also mention, when subscribing to the courses, you only receive notifications if the seats in the class are about 3 and below. So if it reaches that point, we will send you a notification via email to let you know that the seats are filling up. And so when the seats do get down to 0, you don't need to worry too much about that also, because we'll let you know. And you can continue being subscribed to that class. And if a seat opens up later, we'll let you know and send you a notification about that as well. And so the way the system works is we get this information every 10 minutes from the class schedule list here. And so we built a system that's able to retrieve this information in less than a second. So it's a very powerful tool that we've built in order to accomplish this.
We also allow users to view courses based on the specific majors that they've selected. And through this process, we match the subject code and the course code with the ones in our database matched with the ones on the curriculum sheet shown right here. Based off of this, it will create a new collection field showing the classes specific to the major that you've selected.
Okay, so, how does it work exactly? Well, we have the backend built using 3 main technologies. We have MongoDB, which supports our database, and we have 2 other technologies, Node.js and Express. These are responsible for sending the request to our database and sending that information to the front end.
And for the front end, it's powered with Vue.js and Axios. And what Vue.js allows us to do, it allows us to create dynamic pages based on content that we have stored in the database without actually having to hard code all of those values. And so we use Axios to send requests to the database over HTTPS so that we can send a request and then the server will access the database and give us back the information, and then Vue.js shows it on the user's end. And the great thing is that Vue.js also allows us to make a single page application, which basically it mimics the way classic websites work, where you load a page, and then if you go to a different page, it has to re-access the server, and then it'll reload a new page. However, with Vue.js, it loads a single page, and then whenever you click on different links on the page, it'll take you to different pages, but you're actually on the same page, and it's just showing you different views of the same page. And so this is great because it allows the user to access content more quickly because they don't have to worry about load times. So they only have to worry about the first load time, and then every load time after that is instantaneous because it's not actually loading anything. And so moving on to the meat of the presentation, we're going to actually show you a live demo. And before we start the live demonstration, I'd like to point out that we do support mobile sizes and desktop sizes because we wanted the website to be accessible to as many users as possible. And so we support basically every single screen size. And so whenever a user goes to mycoursefolio.com, the first thing they'll see is this landing page. And if they're a returning user, they can just log in. But I'm going to walk us through as if we're a first-time user. So you go to the register page, and the first thing you'll see is a field telling you to select your university. Now currently, we only support Georgia Southwestern State University, but we've developed the website in such a way that we can actually support any number of university systems. And so if we continue, we just enter in some basic information about ourselves. And then we select a major. And these majors are actually populated from the database. These are currently the majors that we have supported in our database. And so that goes back to what Junior was talking about with the being able to view different collections. And so we're a computer science major. And you'll get to this registration complete page. But if we go to the portfolio page, this is basically the main hub for the user's content. As you can see, we have basically all the main features of the website at the moment. And we can also see that we currently have 0 courses subscribed to. This is because we just made a new account. But let's go ahead and subscribe to some courses. So this page, this is populated with the information that we got from our database. And that information all comes from here. And you can actually, see that it's the same information right here. And so basically all that we've done is we've taken that information and formatted it into a more user-friendly frame so that it's easier to use. And so suppose we're looking through our courses and we're looking through all 633 courses and just scrolling through. But then we decide that, okay, well, we want accounting principles. So we select it. And as you may have seen over here on the right, the selected courses tab turned green. But if we click it, it'll actually pull out and we can see all the courses that we currently have selected. However, suppose that we want a few more courses. So we can actually come down here to the majors tab, and this will show all the courses that are currently required in your curriculum sheet for your major. And so that's all of these courses that are currently offered next semester. And we're looking through, and we decide that, okay, we want computer applications. So it was also added over here to our selected tab. And so, but suppose we took a little while to find that second course and we forgot which Accounting 2101 course we took. We can actually click on this Details tab and it'll give us all the information about that current course. And so, and we can make our decision based on that. And whenever we're ready to subscribe, we just have to click the subscribe button and it'll let us know. And we'll actually get an email that tells us, well, first we'll get an email that we were registered, but we'll also get an email that tells us, okay, these are the classes that you just subscribed to, and it'll give us some brief information. Now, we don't actually have to interact with our email entirely. If we wanted to just quickly check to see how a class was doing, we can always go to My Courses, and it'll show you which courses you're currently subscribed to. And this will be real-time updated, so this is the most current view of the data that we have. And so if at any point you decide that you don't want to be subscribed to a class anymore, you don't want to receive notifications about it, all you have to do is click the unsubscribe button and you'll no longer receive notifications about that class. And that's really the main functionality of the website. All you have to do is select the courses you want, subscribe to them, and then you receive notifications. We tried to make it as easy and simple to use as possible. However, there are a few more things on the website. So you can actually go to your user settings, and if you wanted to change or just view any of your current settings, you can view them on the settings page, and to change them, you just have to enter in your current password, and you can change it to whatever you want. Also, if you ever run into a problem, you can click the support button down in the footer, and that's on every page, so it's easy to access, and you can basically just submit a support ticket. So if you run into a problem, or even if you have a suggestion for the website, you can send us a ticket and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And moving on to future improvements.
We'd like to add an online curriculum sheet tool for our administrators, so that way they can log in, edit the curriculum sheet online, whatever needs to be updated, they can update it, and whenever they decide to finish and they think everything should be finalized, when they publish it, it will be published right onto the website with all the up-to-date information instantaneously.
And so another feature that we would like to add is the user controls for the system. There's always room for improvement. So we would like to add better search criteria for searching results to allow students to see more specific groups of classing. Or just in general, we want to make the website feel as easy and intuitive for users to use as possible. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to submit a ticket and we'll take your suggestions into account. And then also, we want to expand our system out to other universities in Georgia. And so we actually currently have communications with Heather Collins, who is a USG policymaker, and we've been talking with her about potentially implementing MyCoursefolio. And this is in the very preliminary stages, but it's a step forward. And we hope to help universities all over Georgia with this software. And so does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Is there an option on the website to put in more than one major for students that are dual majors?
Not currently,
And
but
actually, when working with the database, that was something that I was considering, but it is something that we could probably implement later on as well.
That's all the way to call search boards.
oh yes. Oh. So yeah, yes.
You can search it in via the course number, CT, which will now bring up all the accounting majors. You can search for it via the day and the months. You can view it via just the exact name of the class. So all the microcomputer apps and the computer app classes. You can also search via your instructor. Are there any more questions?
Yes.
So can you like search for, like, show display all, I don't know, accounting classes, and like when you, with the search function?
Yes. If you type in ACCT, it'll give you all of the classes that are currently offered that are specifically accounting classes.
Yes.
Where are you getting the information?
It's from the scheduled classes page on the rating page here.
Are you getting it from the GSW website?
Correct.
Okay.
They take it from there, they format the way how it appears, they make it more accessible by users, and they populate their own database, and having this information in their own database, they now can customize the way how the output works. So for example, nowadays, they can filter courses with respect to computer science major only, and computer science students will not see courses that are specific for business major. And they take the major information from the curriculum sheet directly. So one of them worked through all Excel files that present curriculum sheet and put this information about different courses for particular majors also into the database. So now they can measure, for example, computer science courses that are required for this major against the entire list of courses and display on their interface on the rows that have to be displayed for the science students. And since their application is very expandable, they can add as many majors as they want. These not only will work for this particular semester, but will, when the new course page, course schedule page will be published, the application will grab the new data and pretty much just automatically rolls out.
So when you subscribe, you get information that tells you that there's only so many seats left
Yes, sir.
in the class.
And so it's
Can you enroll in the class from your?
no, sir.
No.
No. Okay.
They cannot do this because for the enrollment to take place, they have to have direct access to the student account. They maintain completely separate accounting for users because kind of messing up with other users' accounts is against the policy that is established for this body. So they are not authorized to deal what they can do. They can monitor, for example, the number of available seats in some of the subscribed courses increased from 0 to 1, meaning that somebody dropped from the class that particular student is interested in. That student will receive an email and will be able to log into their rank page and register for this class, because as soon as all the matter of a few minutes.
And this,
The main function seems to be, or, forgive me, but it's basically a wait list. That's your.
Kinda.
If you want a class and it's full, you can get a notification when there's a seat open, and then you can go enroll in it.
Yes, sir.
And that's a terrific benefit. I mean, we don't have that, and that would be a great benefit. The next step, I guess, or is not letting people get in the wrong classes, I guess. Verifying that either you've already taken that class or you need to take it for your major. It seems to be a function of your degree work. And so
They actually can do this. The only stopping point here is that for them to be able to work on that level, they have to have access to the banner. So without access to banner, they have no control over which classes a student has already taken, which courses still have to be taken, because all this is behind the civilization law. They work with the open information, which is the course schedule. And when we mentioned that this system can be expanded to other campuses, that's important that all campuses maintain the course page in some form in the open access. So the only thing that they will have to do is to adopt this scripting facility that takes data, that grabs data from the course schedule page and populates this into the database. But having the entire system up and running, it will take them just probably 5% of the effort that they have already spent by creating this system.
so the only extra step that we have to do to expand to other universities is just getting their class schedules. And that's the only thing. After that, everything's done automatically. So there's nothing else extra that we have to do on our end.
You know what would make it really valuable? Is if you could tell a GSW student a course at another institution that's available that would count at GSW.
That would, yeah.
Yeah, that's also possible. And I think if, since they already have communication with an officer at the USG level, they, by the way, met this lady by chance on the undergraduate research symposium. So she was introduced to the software. She appeared to be very much interested. The students happened to be very excited about this possible cooperation. But with the help of the heavy lifting people from USG, they probably can encourage this application to be adopted on experimental basis in some other institution, and maybe it will not be against their IT policy to have this limited communication with their banner system. Well, not much can be done against our banner system because there are rules and policies that likely are not going to be considered just for that application. But if there will be a trend, if there will be a move, if there will be a buzz about this application, then things may change.
Any other questions? Yes, Matt?
You haven't already, have you already said something about how the system like can check your classes that, or tells you something about prerequisites? Like what if you want to register for a class, but you can't because you need another class to take it?
We currently have something for that in the works. It didn't make this final cut for the presentation, but we have been toying around with that idea of making sure that users can only interact with courses they have the prerequisites for. However, it goes back to what Dr. Bayev said about we need access to what courses the user has already taken before that we can say whether or not they've taken the prerequisites.
Could you emphasize the website URL so everybody can
Yes.
make a note on this?
Yes, so the URL is mycoursefolio.com. And it's available, you can actually check it on your phones or your computers or whenever, anytime you want. And you don't have to download anything, you just go to the website and it's good to go.
And they deliver the entire content of the website through the well-established secure communication channel. So even though they don't play with any sensitive data, but the communication between the web browser and the server is completely safe, it is secure, it is encrypted, and even if it was part of this application, if it was dealing with sensitive information, that sensitive information would be in good hands because of the encryption, because of the well-respected modern technology that they utilize in the server. And they didn't mention this explicitly, but they went through the path of web application development that is very modern nowadays. I told them that having this skill set, they should not experience any difficulties finding the job because this is very effective on the job market. So they learned this technology through this semester and they mastered it, they came up with application, and that's really a great result for the platform.
Any more questions?
Okay.
Thank you all.
Close out the browser. Close out the browser.